Tara e te iwi, hoki mai ki UFC on Sky me ngā mihi mo te tau hou. Happy New Year and welcome back to another season of UFC on Sky. The UFC pay-per-views kick off this week with UFC 311 with the lightweight champion Islam Makhachev defending his title against #1 contender Arman Tsarukyan and someone who knows a little bit about the lightweight division.
I reckon if you read out all of the names on that fast enough, that's a spell. I think the chairs will start floating around in the room.
Who cares about the fights? It's the names. I'm going to
exclusively be referring to everyone by their first name in this, because that would just be an absolute butchery.
So it's Islam.
I like how Chael Sonnen pronounces everyone Makhachev. He goes out of his way to say everyone's name wrong.
You need to spell it out phonetically. It is. There are, yes, a lot of letters.
It is Islam, Umar, Merab, and who cares?
Yeah. Look, you have started 2025 off with a bang. Let's talk about it though. How was your break? How was your time off?
Good. We are obviously training right through. There's I was trying to remember, I'm getting lost with everyone's name. Israel Adesanya.
Forgettable name.
Israel Adesanya. He obviously drew the short straw and got, obviously fighting is a year-round thing. There's no season for it. So if you are fighting in January or February, it sucks, bro, because the gym, everyone's off having Christmas and New Year's, and the gym's pretty quiet around that time. If you're fighting March, April, things get better, because then everyone starts back January with a bang and pushing hard. But Israel drew the short straw. So obviously the team just charged right through Christmas and New Year's, and things have been rolling as usual. So I have been training actually.
Oh, well done.
It hasn't all been, drinking beers and sitting on the beach.
Not all of it.
Won't say that hasn't been a large chunk of what's been going on, but there's been some training sprinkled in there.
Okay, very good. Well, we did see on your Instagram that you were training with Israel. So let's get into that. How is he? He looks like he's been training the house down over Christmas.
He's pushing hard. Obviously, there's a new strength and conditioning program at City Kickboxing with Big Bad Bill from the Olympic team, and it's been helping us quite a lot. But yeah, there's been some cool people coming over. Rob Wilkinson, the guy who Israel made his debut against. Rob Whittaker's in the gym this week, which is a nice surprise. I hear Bulk's coming over as well. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty action-packed time here at City Kickboxing. Carlos is getting ready for his fight there in March. I think Kai's retired from his fishing.
Mr. Kai
Mr. Kai coming to the gym yesterday, and I was like, he put the fishing rod down. Finally showed up to training, brother. I thought he was
the swimming, maybe.
Outdoors with Kai, bro.
No, very, very true. Yes, the gym is a blaze at the moment, but you mentioned Robert Whittaker, and it was actually quite nice to see them on social media and training with each other. What did you make of it when you saw him in the gym, and how did that even happen?
I think obviously his coaches are just it's just, if a fighter does the same thing for so long, it becomes just a bit of a routine, and it's you kind of just get lulled to sleep. So it's good to have an injection of new training partners, new system. So yeah, I think after how the fight played out, any fighter knows that's just how fights go. Yeah. So that Rob could have caught Hamza with the first punch, knocked him out, and then he would have been the man with the next title shot. It's just how the sport goes. But yeah, he slipped on a banana peel, gave up his back, and got submitted. So yeah, he's just looking to shake things up and come over here. So yeah, I had a bit of a heads up. Obviously, Eugene kind of asked some of the senior guys throughout the gym and asked Israel that if it was all good if Rob came over. And man, I've been a huge Rob fan for the longest time. So yeah, pumped to have him in the gym. Yeah,
absolutely. And a former champion at that. And you mentioned Alex Volkanovski. It's just great prep for you as well.
Yeah. Start training.
to kick things off. Another fighter we see floating around in your gym, Khan Offley's over from Australia as well.
Yeah, Khan's fighting on the Turk. I still bring up Gallipoli every now and then. I'll let him know I'm not letting that slide, mate. But we remember. But yeah, having him in the gym, he's fighting on the same card as Israel as well. There's another couple other boys, Chinese boys, because one of the old coaches from City Kickboxing as well, Mark Timms, he's over training at the UFC Performance Institute there in Shanghai. So I've got a few of the Chinese boys have come over as well. I'm not even, Rongju. I was like, I'm not even gonna.
Last name.
I was like, I'm not even gonna attempt to butcher his name, but Rongju. I'm sure I'm off, but close enough. Yeah, so it's been cool. Heaps of new toys in the gym, so it's been fun down at training.
Yeah, wicked. And as we mentioned at the end of last year, that 2025 is such a big year for New Zealand fighters, and well, all of them are coming out of City Kickboxing, so the best preparation for a massive year ahead.
Let's go.
Talking of the UFC, at the top we mentioned UFC 311. Now, we were supposed to have Islam Makhachev on the show this week, however he let us know that he wasn't feeling well, which is not ideal come fight week, but we'll soon see how this all pans out during the week. But your thoughts on this matchup, Makhachev up against #1 contender Tsarukyan?
Oh, certainly a closer fight than the bookies have it. Then they got Arman paying $4 something. So I think that's not a bad bet. I think it's a lot closer than that. But yeah, it's like obviously the first fight was very close. Arman was able to reverse a lot of takedowns, stop a lot of takedowns. But you have to understand that, you know, Islam, which is obviously what the bookies know as well, is that Islam was training for a different opponent as well. I believe Islam was training for Francis Renato, who is a southpaw, heavy-handed striker who is only going to defend takedowns. So to then, in the last, I think it was 10 days, like it was very short notice that Arman stepped in, to then get a very experienced counter wrestler and a very experienced offensive wrestler and a top-heavy grappler in Arman Tsarukyan. Was probably a surprise for Islam as well. So, you know, it was a big change for both of them. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be probably 60-40.
60-40.
If I'm gonna nail down a number, I'd say 60-40 Islam, but a much closer fight than the bookies have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Islam Makhachev and what he's been doing since becoming champion, he's almost, I mean, a very, very different fighter to the first time these two came together. Obviously, his striking has improved immensely, but what have you made of him in his reign? I know this is your division and a bit of a...
Yeah, oh man, it's just how the sport works. It's just the more you fight, the more you show your game, the more you show your cards, the more you show your tendencies, and therefore the more you show your weaknesses. You know, we've seen him in a few 5-round fights. He obviously went 5 rounds with Volkanovski. Volkanovski was able to stuff a lot of takedowns. He had a dog fight with Dustin Poirier. So we've got a lot of footage on him now. We can, you know, there's a lot of very intelligent coaches out there that have been, you know, Arman trains at American Top Teams, one of the best gyms in the world, some of the smartest coaches in the world there. And yeah, there's definitely flaws to his game, and you can see what he's good at and what he's not good at. And obviously, to be the champ and to continually make big adjustments and big improvements becomes very different. Because now, like, the longer you reign champion, like Arman's been thinking about fighting Islam probably since he first was beaten by Islam all those years ago. So he's had years and years to think about it and study and practice and think about his game plan. Whereas like Makhachev just has to look next contender. So you're you know, and you get like 12, 14, 16 weeks to figure that out. So you only get to look at a guy and study a guy and think about how you're going to fight and beat him for 12 weeks. Whereas Arman's been thinking about it for years.
Yeah, which can make him quite a dangerous fighter at the same time. Dangerous opponent.
Very.
So here we go. Islam Makhachev up against Arman Tsarukyan. What are your predictions for this fight? What are you expecting to see?
Yeah, well, they've both got a face like a smacked ass, but
Stop.
I keep getting like just intrusive thoughts. Keep it.
You're doing well.
I'm doing better than what I was saying before the show started. We got it all out. We got some of it out. There were some good burns. But show would be cancelled. Anyway. No, like a very close fight. Obviously, I think Islam still gets the job done, but I don't think he has the strong enough to I just feel like Arman has enough skill and enough defensive counter wrestling and strong enough jiu-jitsu, which we saw against Charles Oliveira. He's a very hard guy to submit. Both guys are very defensive on the feet. I'm not saying they're both very good strikers, but they're both very hard to hit and very good at keeping distance. So I anticipate being very hard for either of them to get a knockout in this fight, either of them to get a submission in this fight. So I feel like this fight, 95% chance that this goes to a decision, lends itself towards Islam, but I highly doubt that he finishes Arman.
As we mentioned, Arman Tsarukyan been preparing for 4 to 5 years to try and get this win over a very strong...
Surely not a $4 underdog.
Yeah.
Surely this is going to be a highly competitive fight, which he's very capable of winning.
And that gap could close coming closer to the fight, like you did say. There's another lightweight fight on this card at UFC 311, Dariush up against your old mate, Renato Moicano. Just wanted to get your thoughts on where you see that fight going.
Yeah, I just don't see how Moicano has been beating these guys is he's had some pretty favourable matchups where he's been fighting some guys that will exclusively fight. Jalen Turner, Drew Dober. These are guys that are strictly going to stand in front of you and look to strike. These are not ground level guys at all. So what he's been able to do to them is get a hold of them, drag them to the mat, sit on top of them, wear them down, and then look to finish them. To do that to Beneil Dariush, who in my opinion has the best jiu-jitsu in the lightweight division, so for Moicano to out-grapple Dariush, I don't see how that happens. I feel like this is going to be a very difficult fight for Moicano to win.
Yeah, I see that Moicano's opponents are teetering around him. They're either just above him or just below him, opponent after opponent. So perhaps
it's because on the mic, incredible. I'll tune into a Moicano fight for the podcast hilarious. Yeah. Really funny guy, great guy. Yeah. Boring fights.
Look, we can't expect anything less from Dan Hooker. This is his division. These are potential opponents
and
he's talking about.
And I'm a mean guy.
Deep down.
It's not even deep down.
It is pretty surface. My bad, I take that back. But in amongst all of this, Dan, where does this leave you? Where does this leave you in the mix with all the lightweights up and about? She's done it again.
I think we all know.
There are rumours are swirling.
There are rumours are swirling. Yeah, obviously Justin Gaethje come out, put it on his own YouTube channel that he's locked in for the March card in Las Vegas against me. The UFC, obviously, I've been saying for a long time that the guys that the UFC want me to fight are ranked ahead of me. Justin Gaethje is obviously ranked ahead of me. Well, there's only 2 guys ranked ahead of me that don't have a fight. So it's it's been pretty obvious all along who the fight was going to be or who the UFC was kind of discussing with me to fight. March, I don't know what March is about. That's the oldest trick in the book for coaches because obviously Gaethje's coming off a really long layoff after the UFC 300 Holloway fight. It's the oldest trick in the book for coaches is a month or 2 early. April, if it's April, May, then you tell them February, March, and then get them ready. Oldest coach trick in the book.
Well, he's come out. Justin Gaethje's come out and saying, "I'm in camp, 8 weeks to go. Tamir." So he's out there supporting that notion too.
Yeah. Well,
good on him.
Not going to turn down a fight.
Yep. So as we always say, whānau, watch this space to watch things get locked in. When we look at a title fight like this, and the potential of where that would leave you after success against a fight like that, then obviously that would be a number 1 contender.
Yeah. You get past. That's why the fight is. I think he's ranked number 3 in the division. former interim champion, like you get your hand raised against Justin Gaethje. You're fighting for one or two titles is pretty much what I've heard, is you're either fighting for the undisputed title or there is also the BMF title floating around out there. So get your hand raised against Justin Gaethje and we're looking at pay-per-view points, baby.
Also featuring at UFC 311 is Merab Dvalishvili, who will be defending his Bantamweight title this weekend. Merab, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
You're in Los Angeles at the moment, and there are some fires happening over there. Here in New Zealand, we've been watching the news and seeing, the devastation that's happening over there. I just wanted to get your opinion and perhaps what you've seen since you've landed in Los Angeles.
Hopefully, everybody will stay safe, and this is very bad fire and bad stuff like this. But here in Los Angeles, wherever we are, hotel, it's nothing going on. Everything is safe. We don't even see the fire, or we don't even smell anything. It's all good here where I am. That's it.
Look, you've obviously been working away at facing Umar this weekend. I just wanted to talk to you about preparations and your thought on Umar as an opponent for this title fight.
As an opponent, Umar Nurmagomedov is a good fighter, and I'm ready to go on January 18. Now we are here in the hotel, cutting weight, getting ready for this fight, and I'm excited.
There was a little situation about you not being able to enter the Performance Institute because Umar, I think, was training at the time. Do you kind of think that the cards are maybe stacked against you in this fight?
Yeah, whatever it was, I'm not focusing for the past. I'm a professional fighter, and there is always many things in training camp doesn't go my way, and there is so many challenges I have to deal with. But I'm focused on myself, and I'm looking forward to fight Umar Nurmagomedov this weekend, and I'm just gonna show the people a good fight, and I'm not thinking anymore about this, whatever happened before.
In September, you won the Bantamweight title from Sean O'Malley, and you've had your little reign now as a champion. I wanted to know how that's been going for you, and perhaps how sweet it will be to get a defense under your belt. So good to be champion and get respect from professional fighters and people from around the world. This is good experience, but I am same guy. I have the same goals. I'm still same hungry, and I'm even more motivated to stay on top of the game, defend my belt, and continue great work. Of course, now I'm a champion, but I'm still same guy. But I'm being grateful. I'm grateful for UFC and just my life. How has the reign been? Because I speak to a lot of UFC champions who say, even though I am the title holder, it's still another fight, like I've been fighting all of my career. But is there a sense of perhaps, a little added responsibility or, some sort of leadership perhaps when you're holding the title? Does it feel a bit different?
Yeah, it's a little bit different. Of course, now more eyes on me. I'm not challenger anymore. I'm a champion. I used to it, last couple fights I have pretty big fights, and I fought 2 times main event. It's similar like before, but it's all good, and no, nothing complain. I'm actually happy and grateful for everything.
Look, we wanted to know a little bit about your social media content because it's absolutely hilarious and we love watching it. I wanted to know, are you creating this content or do you have a little team behind you that helps you make these hilarious clips on Instagram?
I don't have a problem to make fun of myself, bring up funny stuff. I do have a friend who's helping me, but usually it's my idea and technical ways like editing videos and put together and so stuff like this. I have a friend who helping me, but everything I posted, I check all my text and nobody does this one for me.
It's really cool because, we see what you bring to the octagon in terms of your skill as a fighter. But when we watch these videos that you post to social media, it feels like we're learning about you, the person. Is that something that you want people to know about you?
I just want to give people positive energy and same time have fun with that. I just wanna give people who are cool people. I just wanna give good people good energy, positive energy, and show them who I am. I'm just myself, and having fun with it.
Well, I must say, the way you put it forward, it is very entertaining and very funny to watch. So we do enjoy those clips. You did mention Umar. You don't want to make fun of him, of course. What are you expecting in Umar Nurmagomedov this weekend?
As a fighter, he's a good fighter, and we will have a good fight. It won't be easy. It's going to be a tough fight, but I got to make sure I will beat him, and I will be winner this weekend.
We saw on social media that you had a meeting with Shaun Johnson from the Warriors here in New Zealand, the rugby league team, and they're getting ready to play their tournament in Las Vegas. I just wanted to, get your thoughts on meeting Shaun Johnson, who's a little bit of a rugby league legend here in New Zealand, and it was really cool to see your interaction.
Yeah, for sure. That was an honor for me to meet him, and I love rugby. Actually, it's a big sport in my country too. And that was such a cool to meet him. Actually, when I was little, I tried to play rugby, but it's lots of technique. You have to be big. You have to be very technical. It's lots of rules. It's really hard to play high level rugby, and that's why I decided to continue my wrestling career at that moment.
It looked like you had a pretty good sidestep going, though.
Yeah, I try.
Merab, thank you so much for your time and all the very best at UFC 311 this weekend. It was very, very nice talking to you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Well, whānau, thank you so much for joining us for episode 1 in 2025. And of course, Dan Hooker, kia ora, kia koe hoki.
Yeah, it's good to get the brain turned back on.
I know, right? Barely, hey?
It's a bit mush. Like, the holidays has mushed my brain.
I know.
All right, we'll get this switched on. Next week, it'll be a lot more professional, but I'll try harder.
And whānau, you can catch UFC 311 this weekend. Book now on Sky Arena or Sky Sport Now. The main card starts at 2 p.m. The prelims are live on Sky Open, so don't miss it. Hei kōna mai.
UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev truly is unbreakable.
That is the best lightweight fighter on earth.
I'm in a league of my own, I told him.
He's just like Khabib, so dangerous.
Islam has not lost a fight since 2015. 14 fights in a row.
What is it going to take to stop this guy?
Arman Tsarukyan, very much a problem. Arman Tsarukyan, he's so powerful, he's so aggressive, he has all the skills to challenge Islam Makhachev.
Islam Makhachev, I'm going to smash you. What a phenomenal fight this is.
The best in the world, Islam Makhachev.
He can knock you out. He can submit you. He can do it all.
He has been an absolute wrecking ball.
Arman Tsarukyan.
Real world championship caliber skills.
This man is as elite as they come.
I'm in the league of my own, league of my own.
The undisputed king at 135, Merab Dvalishvili.
The man's a phenom.
He just does not